we really appreciate you taking the time. I know today must have been a chaotic day, so appreciate you taking the time to join us on this call. We are super excited to kick off this program. Hope you get that feeling as well as we go through some of these slides. But we just want to first congratulate everyone for being awarded this grant. Definitely an exciting time. So thank you for choosing Foodstream as your partner for executing that grant. And then just some things that we'll touch on this call, meeting your Foodstream team. I think you probably know most of us. I'm Grace Chacha. I am one of the program managers. I think you know Rich. Jenny Blanco is also a program manager, is on the call as well, and you've probably spoken to most of us. You'll also meet Jillian and Claudia from the team are on the call, as well as Vicky. I don't know if we have time to go through intros for our part, but you've probably heard all of us and know who we are. We also will open it up to you all to introduce yourselves, since most of you work at different schools, probably don't know each other, but just a nice icebreaker so everyone can kind of get to know who is on this call. We'd love to go over the program visions and the goals, how we designed the program, what that means, and how we will be bringing it to life at your schools. And then some of the expectations, what the responsibilities are for Foodstream, what some of the student responsibilities are, and then how the teachers and the sustainability coordinators at the schools can be supporting as well. We will leave some time at the end of the call for any questions that you all may have, as I'm sure we'll come up with a few as we go through some of these slides. And this program really uses food as an accessible entry point to talk about sustainability and climate awareness, and basically how food could connect to the environment in different aspects, whether it's sharing food or food waste or food scraps. Definitely an opportunity to take food as the focal point and connect it to many different points of the environment. Talking about food waste and how we use the resources that we do have, and then how food also is an opportunity to share with our community, and also talk about responsibility and care for food. And then learning begins with everyday choices and builds toward that action, and also how those everyday choices really do connect to the planet. So something that we definitely want to focus on as a main point of our lessons. And then overall program objectives and what we're building toward together. So something that we are really excited is to get to work with the students and really build confident cooks as well as curious growers. We enjoy just getting those students interested in where food comes from, what can we do with food, how can we share food. So really just building the confidence in students and empowering them with the education and some skills needed to kind of achieve these sustainable points that we're speaking to. Climate learning and how that starts with everyday food. Practical sustainability, not as an abstract theory. Really want to touch on and really empower students to know that their choices do matter. So it's not an abstract theory. It's not really something that is out of reach for them. It's really something within reach. Again, small choices, small changes do have a great impact. So really want to empower the students with that information. And then one clear student supported action on Earth Day. So we will be connecting all of our lessons to potential actions. So really something that we want to drive home with the students. Shared impact story across 18 schools. So again, we are leaning on some of you really to share your feedback, share some of your thoughts, share aha moments, share those bright spots that we can then kind of combine to look at overall impact. And then again, citywide sustainability, collaboration, really driving that point of collective action and how all the schools are working together to achieve something, and then looking at impact across the 18 schools that we are working with. And then something that we will be working on is an impact report and a playbook as the program's wrapped, really to show what that impact looks like, and we'll be able to share that with you all as well. And then this slide really just touches on the program overview, the 4 lessons, the 4 topics of each of the lessons that we'll be covering, and how these life skills really pertain to food literacy and sustainability, and really instilling these fundamental skills in the students that can be implemented outside of school. So in their homes and in their communities, really building stewards of sustainability is what we're working toward here. And then this is an overview of the lesson plans. I know there is a lot of information here, and we can definitely follow up after this call with the details. Some of you may have seen some version of this at some point, but this is just an overview of the program and what each of the lessons, how each of the lessons are broken down. So this is a 4-week program, as we mentioned. The first week is really focused on seed to system and starting where food comes from, and really talking about where food comes from, how it starts with seeds. And the objective is really to introduce the idea of sustainability. Some students might not even know what that means. So really defining that across different age groups and different abilities, and what that means, and uncovering potential actions based on what was learned. The core activity for the first lesson will be planting. The students will be planting microgreens that will then live in their classrooms for them to care for. And then ultimately they will be enjoying that in some of the meals that we will be cooking. We will have a snack in the first lesson. The hands-on activity is really the growing, so no hands-on cooking for the first lesson, but they will be enjoying some apple slices and really connecting the idea of seeds into food and where food comes from, just trying to drive that idea home with the apple slices. The second week focuses on from seed to plate to waste, so we'll really be driving the idea of home of using food wisely, talking about food scraps, what's edible versus what's not edible. And then the objective is to connect food preparation to potential waste reduction. So thinking about portion sizes, thinking about what they're then doing with their scraps afterwards. And the core activity in the second lesson will be a hands-on meal prep, and the students will be preparing cucumber bowls with harvested microgreens. So they'll really be able to see their efforts from the previous week of growing and how they can then use that for meals that they'll be preparing. For the third week, the third week is, we have 2 options because we've got some feedback from some of the schools that composting isn't an option at their school, so really was it relevant? So we have 2 options, and we will be asking you to help us select which one is pertinent to your school. So one of the options is talking about from scraps to soil, and the topic really focuses on composting and this idea of circular food systems. And the objective is really to show how scraps can then become a resource that can go back into the soil to then continue to help grow food. And the core activity for this one is a meal that involves lots of food scraps. It's veggie lettuce wraps, so the students will be chopping, grating, preparing their own vegetables to then build their own veggie wraps. And then they'll be sorting the scraps. If the school has composting, obviously then we can then show how we can then take the scraps to put into composting, and then talk about what happens after we've sorted the scraps. And the other option for those that don't want to touch on the composting is this idea of food access and sharing. So really talking about growing food to be not only used, but then to be shared as well, and connecting sustainability with this idea of food access and what that means for their community, as well as even it's kind of illustrated what they're doing. They're creating a meal and they're sharing it, and they're chatting with their friends, and it's really, that kind of is the idea of this shared table, but also extending that into maybe food pantries or some other ways that they can share food as well. And the core activity for this lesson will also be same as before, the veggie lettuce wrap. So we will have both of those same meals. So regardless of which option you pick, your students will be able to enjoy those veggie lettuce wraps. And then our last week is really focused on planning for Climate Action Day. So we really will be taking all of the themes from the previous week's lessons and then deciding on which action makes the most sense for the schools that we're in, and that will vary from school to school. So the core activity is planning for Climate Action Day, and we'll be revisiting different ideas that we had come across from the previous lessons tied to those specific themes, and then just reinforcing this idea of collective action. So what does that mean? How many students in the class are taking action? What does that mean for school? What does that mean for 18 schools across the city? What does that mean for 1,000 schools across the city? So really trying to show what this idea of collective action. There'll also be a hands-on meal prep and its mini avocado toast that they'll also be able to enjoy with some of the microgreens that they've harvested from their first week's lesson. So I know there was a lot there, but we will definitely follow up. And then I don't know, we probably don't have time on this call specifically, but I could just pull one of the lesson plans up just to give a quick look. And these are, we could share these. So we have specific lesson plans built already for each of these weeks. Some of them have already been shared with you all, but we can definitely share some others if you're interested in reviewing all of these. Definitely what we will be covering in each of the weeks.
Yeah, I'd just like to say that all of these documents and lesson plans and lesson slides and worksheets and things like that will be available, and we'll tell you a little bit more about how you can access those in a bit. Thanks, Grace.
Thanks. So just moving on to the next slide, just identifying different roles and different responsibilities for all the key stakeholders. So what Foodstream, your team here at Foodstream will be leading is designing and delivering the full program. As Rich mentioned, we have lesson plans and lesson slides that we'll be able to share. So the lessons have been fully designed. We will be the ones handling that. We have all supplies, all materials needed. We know that you all have tons on your plate, so we'd like to do as much as we can to help you guys and execute this. In classroom instruction, we have our own instructors and educators that will come to the class to deliver these lessons. All hands-on cooking and indoor growing, all ingredients, everything is delivered. I know some schools have gardens, some schools have kitchens, some schools have but the way this is designed is that we don't need any of that. The classrooms essentially become the gardens and the kitchens. The team at Foodstream will manage the weekly impact report. So we will be managing all the data that's collected from the students, from the teachers, that we will ultimately be sharing with you all. And then we will be working with the schools independently on participating in Climate Action Day and what that action is. We will be working with you all and supporting you all in that. And then again, we will be sharing that impact report and the playbook, which kind of covers all the highlights from the lessons for the 4-week lessons. What the teachers lead, so this is where we will lean on some of you all that will be in the classroom with the students and our educators as the programs are being executed. So schools lead the implementation on Climate Action Day. That is something that all schools will be doing. I believe it's self-reported by the schools, but we will be there to support you all in brainstorming what those potential actions could be. We will be coordinating all schedules, which I believe we have done with most of you, maybe still waiting on a few more of you. Just confirming what those schedules look like, who the teachers are, and then we would love for you all to reinforce these themes that we uncover each week. Just driving those ideas home with your students when possible. We do have also a 2-minute survey for all educators post-session, just giving any feedback, anything that could ultimately help us make our program, improve our program, make it stronger. So any information, any feedback is definitely welcome there. And then just touching on Foodstream Network, again, we'll go into this a bit more at the end of this call, but we'd love to share any highlights. I know we've definitely gotten some comments from principals where students are like, "You're the best principal ever for bringing this program to us." So anything like that we can really that we can share in our impact reports and our playbook. So any of those aha moments, we'd love to hear those. And then supporting the students in whatever action is decided. Since we won't all be there in all of the schools on April 22nd, I wish we could be, can't be in many places at once, but we would love to support you all in whatever action your schools choose. And then implementing that action on April 22nd, Leslie. And then what the students lead, so students are really the focal point of the program. This is why we do this. So every student participates in joyful hands-on learning. Our program is designed for all ages, all capabilities. We amend the program where we need to, but really it's designed for all students to be able to enjoy this program. And they do this by cooking and growing and hopefully sharing those ideas with their home and community. Again, exploring food systems and food waste, just bringing awareness to that, as most students, most people probably don't even know that. So really, we like to bring awareness to that and empower students that they do have choices and their actions do matter. We do have post-section exit tickets for the students. Again, those we have different versions for different grades, but just a quick question on the way out, just so we really can kind of track any behavioral change, any change in awareness of the students of things that they've learned for that session. Then we will be preparing the students on one school-based action, so they will be in their lessons, in all 4 weeks of the lessons, they will be talking about different potential actions that can tie back to that theme. And again, they'll be deciding on an action, and we have a way to kind of really drive this home with the students, is creating these promise cards at the end of the 4 weeks, and how they could decorate them and they could hang it up, and we'd love to see pictures of it. But it's kind of like a little commitment that they can make and how they can be helping their planet, so to speak. And then again, the students will be working with the schools to implement this action on Climate Action Day. Do we have any questions so far? I know I feel like I've been kind of speeding through this. So how we capture some of the info. So I've been talking about some surveys and some exit tickets. So this is kind of overall some of the information that we are looking to collect. So from the teachers that are in the classroom with the students, there will be a survey at the end of the session. It's a 2-minute survey, just sharing any of that feedback. You'll be receiving the survey via email initially, and then we could talk about some of the dashboards in a bit, but there will be it will be emailed to you, and we have an incentive for the teachers that complete all 4 of the surveys. They will receive a $25 gift card. It's just a little bit token of our appreciation, really, because this information that we capture is super important and really allows us to show the impact of the overall program. And then for teachers or potentially the sustainability coordinators, we have post-session discussion. So really we can have a conversation, any feedback, if it's anything more you'd want to elaborate that you don't have the chance to in the 2-minute survey. We'd love to have those conversations with you to collect that feedback. And then the students, as I mentioned, our educators will be sharing exit tickets, specific questions at the end of the 4 lessons. Again, these vary by age and grade. Just quick, like, could even be like a happy face, smiley face, sad face, just just their feedback from the session, because again, this is why we do this. So we'd love to get their thoughts as well. And then the intention cards that I had mentioned, the students at the end of the 4 weeks, they will be putting together these intention cards that they, based on what they've learned and what their intention is for action day. Just a little way we can hold them accountable. And then the Foodstream educators will be the ones collecting those exit tickets. So that will all happen during the programs. So really no lift on anyone here's part. Just ask, the educators will ask the question and then be collecting those tickets to then be shared with the larger team. And then just elaborating a bit on what we're capturing. Like I mentioned, any key quote from the students, anything that's worth capturing. We'd love to hear it all. So anything that you think is worth sharing, please share. Any of those aha moments where, you know, it really clicks with a student, where they're able to make a connection. Again, we really love to hear all of that. Any reflections from the classroom, any session rating. I believe there is a rating system. It's a numerical rating system. Just your feedback on the programs. And again, all feedback is welcome. We definitely want to hear it all. It really helps us improve our programming. And then photos, we love getting photos, the smiling faces, any photos that you can capture. Please feel free to share those as well. We love collecting those as well. And then again, the student exit ticket responses, we will be the ones collecting those. But just a quick overview on what we'll be capturing. And then in week 4, the student design climate intention cards, those are intended to be left at the school. So any photos of those, we would love to see those. And then again, these small data points, hopefully it's not a huge lift, but when we're looking at it across 18 schools, it really becomes meaningful and really drives home that idea of collective action and what we can do when we're working collaboratively. Great. Now I get to take a break from speaking. So anyone else, anyone have any questions, please feel free to use the time to ask those questions. Clara, thank you.
So how long will the lesson be when they come to the classroom?
So it's usually one class period. So it's depending on the school, is it 45 minutes or 50 minutes? I think they vary from school to school, but it will be usually, it's a full period.
And Clara, do we have your program scheduled yet, or are we've done that, Grace?
Yes, we do.
Yeah,
It's Friday's our first session at PSIS 10.
Oh, great.
210, sorry.
Awesome.
Yep.
Hi, this is Jessie. I have a question. For the exit tickets,
Yes.
so the students that you'll be working with, a lot of them are nonverbal. So is it possible to have pictures on the exit tickets? Would you like me to modify them, or is that something you have on your end?
Yeah, so for the first weeks, we were going to check in on the school's capabilities in terms of printing. I know not all schools are able to print as unlimited amounts of sheets for us, but if you are able to, Jesse, you and I could connect after this, but that would be,
Sounds great.
That would be great. Thank you.
Yeah, it really could be anything, like scrap paper, you know, just sort of writing something. So we've just got a thumbs up, thumbs down.
Yeah, so they can point to things. So
yeah. Jessica, who you working with, Grace or Jenny?
Grace.
Grace. Okay, great. Yeah. And I think you've got all the lesson plans and things like that, right? So you're able to. Perfect.
Hey everyone, I have a quick question.
Hello.
How you doing? I couldn't log on before. My name is Antonella Cacciopoli, IS 49, 6th grade science team and sustainability coordinator. We have a large ENL population. Do you guys support whatever you're showing some on a slide deck in another language?
We could potentially create that for the lesson slides, you mean, Antonella, and the exit tickets?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, we could potentially create a second version of that. I don't know if there's anyone at your school that could just help us just to make sure that it's accurate.
I mean, we have found out that Chat GPT works best for translations, that Google Translate does not work as well, especially for languages that do not have alphabets. So character languages like Chinese or Arabic, the translation on Google is not as precise as the one on Chat.
Okay, and so you and I can connect to, I'm just curious to know what the predominant language is if we're putting together something in another language. Just want to make sure we have the right ones.
So yeah, thank you. For our classes this year, we have Arabic and Spanish.
Two of my favorite languages, very closely connected. That would be a really interesting slide. Definitely down for that. Certainly we've Spanish is in our wheelhouse for sure. A lot of Spanish in our team. But the Arabic, yeah, we can collaborate on that, sure. No stress.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that intel. It's good to know.
I'm sorry, could you repeat that?
I just said thank you for sharing that. That's great for us to
Oh,
know.
thank you guys. Thank you so much.
Is everyone a sustainability coordinator here? I had a question. I'm assuming like you won't be in every class. So the teachers that will be taking those classes, will they be sort of like laddering up to you with any questions that they might have? I know that they will have a one-on-one relationship with our program managers, just like any other of our programs out there. But for example, if we're not getting the data that we need after the program, should we report that to the sustainability coordinator or just give a sort of gentle nudge to the teacher? That's just one example. How do you want us to like communicate? How would you prefer the lines of communication to be actioned? I'm assuming directly with the teachers, but any thoughts? Heather, Clara, any thoughts there?
I mean, I'll be with the classes because we're doing the library, so you can just work directly with me.
Yeah. I imagine in like Sandra, you won't be in the lessons, no? Sandra, or anyone else?
Yes, I'm here.
Right. So you won't be in the lessons, right? I'd imagine, or will you? In the classes that we're doing, will you be present in the classes that we're running?
Yes, yes.
All of them? Okay. So is that similar across the board?
So at PS, I'm the AP here at PSIS 210. Teachers will be participating in the class sessions.
Yeah.
One of our teachers who's not present in this platform right now, she will be the point person. Her name is Ms. Santana, who's practically shared most of this information with us. I'll be overseeing the program and collaborating with the teachers. So both she and I can be the point contact people.
Okay.
For communication purposes.
That's great. And I think Jenny and Grace will anyway be knowing that insight and building that relationship between you all anyway. So, but it's just kind of good to know that we can manage those communication channels however you need us to make sure that, because I know probably a lot of the teachers that will be in their classrooms running this on this call today. So to be able to get that information across to them, maybe Jenny and Grace can discuss that with you all individually, but we will share this presentation and maybe a video of the presentation. And we can talk a little bit about the dashboard, maybe, Grace. I don't know. What were you thinking?
Yeah, perfect timing.
Do you want us to talk about the Foodstream first, or the?
Oh, sorry. I thought.
Yeah.
Yes. So the dashboard are they're outside facing, so we can build these dashboards. You may have seen them if you've worked with us before. They will have it's a place that will outline all of your sessions, the dates of your sessions, the schedule, who your educator is, but it's also an opportunity for you to go in and grab any of the information that we will be sharing. So that could be where we're sharing the lesson plans, the lesson slides, any worksheets that we are asking you all to print, the exit tickets, or example, Jessica, if we need your support in helping with any of the exit tickets and making them readily available for your school. So that's where you can kind of go in and grab any of that information. So we will be sharing that with you guys pretty soon.
Great, thank you, Grace. Yeah, so thanks, Grace, for that. And are you going to introduce like the network? Because this is kind of something that's, I think, never been done before and quite exciting. I think like we're very excited about this program, as Grace mentioned, not only because of this platform that we can talk to you a little bit about now, but also because we realize that 18 schools or 17 schools have chosen Foodstream to work with. And rather than like work separately, we're really excited about like thinking more holistically and bringing everyone together. So we work, so we're not alone. We can share information and resources and ideas amongst everyone. So this platform here is that centralized point that's going to enable the sustainability coordinators or a nominated person in your school to sign up to Foodstream, and then they'll have a profile page, and we're going to go through that. And it is also easy enough to bring in other team members underneath into your school profile, so you can all join it and all sort of use it as a conversation and a hub together. So sorry, Grace, you can.
Yeah, so some of you may have gotten a sneak peek on some of our previous calls, but we really want to use this opportunity to take you through this and what it looks like, and kind of mirroring the idea of this call, how we're bringing you all together. We really want to create an opportunity to share ideas and share information, share challenges, share wins, so that we're not working alone, that we are working together, not only Foodstream and the specific schools, but the schools together. I guess you're all working on so much stuff, and this is just a reminder that you're not alone, you're not working in silos, that it's a group effort. So with that, I am going to pass this off to Jillian, who is our Foodstream Network Master and can take you through this information.
Hi, everyone. I'm Jillian. I am the Membership Success Coordinator and the Sustainability Coordinator that will be working with you all to ensure that you are utilizing this platform and it's serving you in the best way possible. So our first step, if it's all right for those that can, I'd love to just get us all signed up just in case you run into any questions. It's just a helpful thing to do all together. So in the chat right now, I just sent a link. If you can click that, or you can just follow me simply by going here, and you can just search up Foodstream Network, sign up. So if everyone can do that, you're going to click on this. And anyone can give like kind of a wave that they're there, they're seeing the same thing as I am. And if at any point you're not, or you have a question, just please, unmute yourself. Let's pretend at least as much as we can that we're in the same room working together. So from there, you're going to say, I am registering my organization, in this case, your school, for the first time. You'll press next. In this case, you guys are a school, so you're going to be pressing provider. And then here, this is where you're going to put in your school name. So in this case, I'll put yes.
So we are different members of the PSI 210, but our sustainability, our AP says she's not in the meeting. Do we all do this?
Right. So in this case, and we will be going on to this in the next slide, but it's that you can all have one school name, but you can have different locations under that, and you can have different people under the same school. Does that make sense? So in the first case, you'll have one person be the representative to fill this out, and then when more people want to join this the school and to go into the different locations, you can then accept them. Does that make sense?
So yeah, Clara, it's kind of nominating, like if you're a sustainability coordinator and wants to be the advocate on Foodstream, then you would sign up the school. If you have multiple locations, and you can add those locations, and they would ladder up to the main school. I hope that answers the question. You can
Yes, and if it doesn't, but this is a specific one for you, I'm more than happy to set up a time to meet with you one-on-one to walk through this, or we can talk about it over email or on the platform itself.
Yeah, so in this case, maybe it would be Yesenia Santana, maybe it would be her, and then you guys can be under her for 210.
Mm-hmm.
Because Ms. Santana is not currently on this platform, I'm actually filling it out right now.
Okay, great.
Great. So glad we got to talk through that. So in this case, I'll put the elementary school I went to. And then you can put in the address. So we can put in any, the address that works for you. Let's just do a random address. You fill it in. Fill this in. You put in your zip code. And then here's what I was talking about. So if your location name is this, it's the same organization, you can keep it as is. If you have a different location, you can put, let's say elementary school, and put the location address of that elementary school that is separate from the one you put before. Does that make sense?
And in this instance, you could just go in as same as organization, because it's easy enough to go in and edit
And change it later.
these properties later. Yeah. So for the sake of time, yeah.
From there, you'll put in your information.
This is where we all grown. 2001.
This is just for security purposes that we have. And then you're going to put in an email that you trust that you are, that you check regularly, because sometimes there'll be notifications connected from your email to the platform. And then you're going to put a username, not something, that we can't identify you with, but let's say something like with your name. So for example, I would do something like GS Fineglass.
And it's personal to you rather than the school. So
Right.
yeah.
Because this is your individual username.
Yeah.
And then for a password, just any password that works. I'll do I love Foodstream 8. Everyone knows where I'm at. And then go next. And from there, we can all take a second to register, completely free. And if everyone can just do a bit of a wave to let me know that they have gotten to the register page, that would be helpful. And if my Foodstream team can let me know when they see lots of waves, that would be great.
Oh yeah, look at those thumbs up. Love it. Anyone left behind or have any questions? Feel good? Perfect.
I have a quick question.
Please.
So I'm not the sustainability coordinator, but I can. I'm registering myself right now, but it should be accepted that all sustainability coordinators for each school should at least have a profile as well, or if, as long as there's a contact there, that should be fine.
So as long as the school has a contact, then from there, when they join your school, they can then create their own account, but they can join your school. Does that make sense? So there can be multiple people connected to the same school.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So right now, it's really just about getting a school uploaded on there so that you can then have as many people as you'd like theoretically to join. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but the sustainability coordinator should definitely have one.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so what you do, Oliver, is like when you sign up the school, you'll be administrator. And then when your sustainability coordinator signs up, it actually takes a lot less time, because they just need to join your school that's already registered. So it's a very quick, simple process. you'll get a notification, you'll accept him or her in, and then you would make them a co-admin owner.
So now that I think most of us have been registered in, I'm going to then show you that we should all be seeing a similar screen to this, right? Let's see.
Do you want to just mention the, did you want to hit register there, Julian?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes. So when you press register, then you're going to have to verify your email. So if everyone can go ahead and verify their email, you should have gotten a quick email.
Yeah.
And let me know if there's any questions. Has everyone, if you can like the chat or anything like that to let us know that you received a verification email, that would be great.
Yes, this is a little, again, another little security thing. So just make sure you go to the email inbox of the email that you registered with.
Right.
And then you should get an email and you can click on verify.
And as you're verifying, I'll just talk through that the whole point of Foodstream Network is that it's supposed to be a community, right? We're supposed to take people that are in a similar space that care about similar things, which is when it comes to food systems, sustainability, food education, and bring them all together to be able to share knowledge and insight and impact. So on this site, it looks probably familiar to things like you've seen before, let's say Facebook or LinkedIn. But the whole idea is that everyone's aligned with a very core mission. So on this platform, we have over 250 members and organizations that care about the same things that you do. And people take their time to post, whether it's, things like the aha moment, like we mentioned earlier, where people can comment and see. You can post, your own thoughts, your own resources. You can connect with other organizations and people in the area. You can even claim donations, that are nearby. If your school ever is looking for donations or has surplus food, you can check out that whole part of the website. But the focus today is about how Foodstream Network can support the work that you're doing with this sustainability and food education. And so what you're going to do is you can post here. I would love if everyone could take a look at their profile, which should be here. And I encourage everyone, when you have a moment, you don't have to do it right now, but to put a picture of yourself and to add some information to your profile. And the reason why we say this is because it allows other people to know who are the other organizations and members on the platform, and you can start to create relationships that way if you see that you have similar interests or focuses. And in addition, the most important thing I need you to know is to be able to check this messages button right here, if you can see, because that is the way you and I will be communicating. If you have a question, write in that message. If I want to reach out and make sure everything's going well, please check that message. You'll always see a notification if there is one there, but that's how you and I will be communicating so that I can make sure that you are understanding and utilizing the platform as well as you can be. And then the other main thing besides the profile and making sure that you take the time to update it and checking your messages regularly is the main thing we'll be focusing on, which is the forum. And you're going to click Foodstream Sustainability. And here, this is what we mean by collective learning. This is where you all are going to, let's say, join the share session updates, and you'll get to post quick reflections. And the whole idea is that whatever your takeaways are, good, positive, everything in between, it's an opportunity for people in the same circumstances as you at a school, maybe a couple miles down the road, to understand and get feedback on their experiences and to share and to create community, which is really what we're all about here with, Foodstream. So really, there's a very functional purpose to Foodstream Network, and it's to share knowledge and create impact and, have kind of this professional profile in the space. Does anyone have any questions?
Julian, can you show the Foodstream LEARN location page? So when you're in your profile, personal profile, just show how you can get to your location profile, your school profile.
So all you have to do is press your organization, and when you signed up, so for example, can someone, let's see, let's look up someone who has signed up. Can someone shout out their name?
Jessica, just try that. I think, yep.
Jessica, and last name?
Restivo. Restivo.
There we go. And we even got a picture already. Jessica, you get brownie points. Alrighty. So here we have Jessica. We have a picture already. Perfect. profile. She'll probably have to fill that out. Oh, almost all filled out. Okay, wow.
And you can.
And then this might be the fastest sign up we've had. But look at this. We also have organization. So we can see that, oh, look, Jessica's involved in this organization. Does that make sense? So anyone else that's involved in the same organization, for example, we can then see what members are associated with this. Just right now, it's Jessica, but I hope her friends at P23Q 841 join her as well. Does that make sense?
And Julian, just go back one to Jessica's profile page,
Gladly.
like her personal profile. So basically what you have is like your own personal profile, which is your professional profile. So let's think of it like LinkedIn, but you're connected to your school so you registered to school. So you're kind of like everything is laddered underneath the school. And we have this thing called HQ, which is kind of like head office. And then we have this location, which is a bit odd because it seems repetitive. But if you have multiple locations in your school, it makes complete sense because then you have your main and then you have at 45, like Michael does, and Maine and Pugsley, right? You would have multiple locations. So when you just have one location that is also in the main building, it feels repetitive. But the main thing is that you do have 3 profiles that you can very quickly update, and you'll just be focused on your own personal profile and your location profile. So in this instance, so Jillian's found Jessica. So if you just go, and on the left-hand side, Jillian, you'll find Jessica. So you go down and click newest. Well, there you go. She's there. And then you can, oh yeah, there you go. So you clicked on request, like following, connect and follow, and which I encourage all of you to do, like connect and follow everybody. And Jillian will be meeting you inside there.
Great.
And, yep.
Yeah. Everyone should expect a message from me. I'll just introduce myself, say hi, see if you have any questions. But really the whole idea is that we know that your time is incredibly valuable. So we want to make sure that this is actually a useful platform to you. So we always want your feedback, and we want to know, what are your questions? How can we support you? And how can we make this a helpful resource so that the learning and the insights you share actually feel worthwhile?
Perfect. All right. Thank you, Jillian.
Perfect.
Good timing.
Thanks, Jillian.
Okay, any other questions?
Now we just perfect timing. But yeah, definitely if there are any questions, we wanna address those. So if anyone has any.
Just one last question about the post class surveys.
Yep.
So that you said that would be after every session?
Yeah, so there will be a 2-minute survey sent to the teacher that will be in the classroom, just to share any feedback. And it's a quick form. It's a digital form, pretty quick to capture those points.
And the students also?
So no, the students won't receive that survey. So the students will have the exit ticket, which I just received a quick update, that it's actually, it'll be a quick question to the students that they could just kind of jot down their answer on a piece of paper that the educators from Foodstream LEARN will be collecting. So that's not a lift for the teachers in the classroom.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, and then just to reiterate that this platform, the Foodstream network, is not for students. So it's just for teachers, just for adults, just for professionals. I just want to make that clear. And it doesn't go towards any like accreditation, or it's not connected to any kind of point system or anything like that. That's a quick caveat I have to put at the bottom of the
And I know you all have to run, but I would just encourage you, bookmark this at the top of your page. And again, we're talking 2 to 5 minutes. We're not asking for long paragraphs. We want this to work for you. All we're saying is just put in the forum any sort of thoughts on how things went, where things could have improved, what went well, any advice you have, any thoughts. And this way you guys can all interact with each other. It's just supposed to be a shared space that works for you.
Yeah, and use it as a tool for yourselves. Definitely share some successes you've had at your schools, any challenges. We know that some schools have challenges implementing composting, for example. So this could be an opportunity where some other schools can share successes or things that they've seen work in terms of implementing something like that. So it's a tool to help you all. Any other questions? Well, thank you all again. Appreciate the time to join this call. If any questions happen to come up after the call, definitely feel free to reach out to myself or Jenny. We are here to answer your questions, and I'm sure we'll be speaking real soon.
Great. And look for my messages. I want to talk to each and every one of you. So I'll be messaging you all very shortly.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a great afternoon.
Drive safely. Bye.
Bye.